All right. We're here with Brendan. He's a basketball player in Hopkinton, and he just finished his senior season. So, can you tell us a little bit about what your high school basketball experience was like and go through every season?
Yeah, it was good. So my freshman year, I made varsity as a freshman. That was very, very exciting. I trained for the whole summer, whole fall to make it to then. And then a week into practices, I broke my ankle in practice before we even started playing the games. That was rough. I didn't get back until the last week of the season. I got in for like the senior game to play with them, and I scored a three. The whole crowd went crazy. That was awesome because I hadn't even played yet that year. But I mean, obviously, I was very out of shape. It was rough to say the least. Then that spring, I got back into shape. And then during AAU that summer, I broke my hip. So that it was like for a solid, probably, I don't know, 14, 15 months, I was injured
Yeah.
and I was coming back from those injuries. And then my sophomore year, I made varsity again. But because I was out for so long, I was nowhere near where I wanted to be. I didn't really play many games. I mean, I was out of shape. I couldn't, everything hurt, running, jumping, all that sort of thing. And I took that summer after sophomore year when once we went into quarantine, I was doing like 3 mile runs every single day, trying to, and that helped me get to where I wanted to be for the junior season. Even though there was no fans and nothing like that junior year, it was like the year where I actually started to play well. We made it all the way to the championships, lost by one. That was really rough, especially since we were up by like 15 in the first quarter.
Yeah, Guilford.
Yeah, no, that was tough, but it was a very, very fun season, regardless of everything that happened in it. And I made first team All State that year, so that was a big confidence boost going into that. And then senior year, last year or this year, I should say, made varsity again, obviously.
Yeah.
And then we weren't quite as good as the year before, but we were good. It took a while to get the team chemistry going. Playoffs, we didn't make it as far as I would have hoped. We lost in the quarterfinals to a lower seed than us, but I mean, they were a good team. No,
Yeah, Muskoma, they had really good guards and everything, and they played really good defense and smart coaching and everything. So they played their best game.
Yeah. So yeah, that was what the seasons were like.
Yeah. So I think that's a good point that you made about like just how hard you work throughout the years, and that's a good lesson to some people who are, let's say they're in elementary school and they're listening to this and they're trying to figure out, do I really want to play high school sports and put in all the work? Is it worth it for me to do that? And you really demonstrated how hard you need to work in order to achieve that. And also, I think your injuries is interesting because like it's just time and time again, and you just got to battle back through. And I think that's a really good lesson. Do you have any advice for somebody who's younger and is, in elementary school and thinking, I like basketball, but I don't know if I want to go for it in high school?
Well, if it doesn't matter if it's basketball or not, if you want to do it, just do it. Like, just if all of a sudden you stop liking it, that's not a problem. You can keep playing just for fun. But if it's something you really want, why not go for it? I mean, there's no, like, I didn't lose anything going for it. In fact, I gained things. So, I mean, why not just do it?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. So you got your hoodie on.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe show the camera that.
There we go.
So this guy he's going to college next year at Clarkson. He's gonna go play basketball there. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Not much has happened with it so far. I mean, last spring after junior year, I reached out to the coach. It was one of the schools I was interested in academically. Like I wanted to go for academics first, basketball second. That's why I'm going Division III because I want to focus on academics, but I love basketball, so I wanted to play. But I reached out to him. I sent him some game tape. He said he was very interested, that sort of thing. And then when I went to visit the school, I met with him, and then I visited again. I met with him again. And eventually I was like, well, this is the place for me. Just like I love the school there. So I just decided to go. And he said I was spot on the team. So I'm excited for that.
I think that's great. Congratulations to you. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you're studying there?
Mechanical engineering. I hope to go into the automotive field afterward. I'd love to be like a research and development engineer for like Ford or GMC or something like that. While I'm there, I'm going to be doing something called like speed teams, which I think it's all about like engineering students competing against each other, other schools, that sort of thing. They've got a Formula One team, which they build a tiny Formula One car. They've got design, build, fly, which they build a plane. The one I'm going to do is called the Clean Diesel Snowmobile, which you get a brand new snowmobile and you take it apart and then rebuild a diesel engine for it and try and make it like zero emissions, then go to competitions and do races and that sort of thing.
Wow, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really neat. So I think just as an overview for high school sports and what it's like, do you have anything you wanted to add additionally, as regards to like the experience of when you're on the road and you're traveling with a team and you get to bond with your teammates and what that's like and building like team camaraderie? Because I think that's a big piece of it.
Yeah, no, team building was really big my freshman and sophomore year because we were allowed to like have like parties with each other and go to each other's houses and that sort of thing. And then my junior year, none of that was really allowed. Senior year, we could kind of do that, but it didn't have the team dynamic where we would do that.
Yeah.
But my freshman and sophomore year, we'd have like team bonding parties at people's houses every weekend, and we do different things together. And that was awesome. It was a lot of fun. We grew as a team that way. I do think it helped playing on and off the court too together. That sort of thing.
Personally, like, for those, I don't know how many people are going to be from our school watching this, but I did travel with the team at some points when I was there. I was just there this past season as a manager, but it was good to help them out, and I enjoyed traveling with them. So I can agree with what Brendan said about just it's good to build team camaraderie. Sorry, why can't I pronounce
Camaraderie.
camaraderie? Thank you. So I just think it was a really great group of guys. Do you have any good stories from the past couple of years that you really enjoyed? You're going to look back on in a couple of years.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the bus rides are fun. Every so often we'll have a practice where we'll just goof around the whole time. The coach will just stand back and let us do our thing. We'll do different competitions, 3-on-3 shooting competitions where we see like underclassmen versus upperclassmen who can make the most half court shots, that sort of thing. Just fun things like that. Often the fun things actually happen in practice, and that's yeah.
That's good. I think something that I personally struggle with, and I think every high school athlete really struggles with, is the school sport balance. When you have all these classes, you're probably taking 6 to 8 classes in a given semester, and you're trying to work through all of those during the school day, and then you have 2 hours of practice, maybe a 3-hour game or something that night. Then you come home and you got all this homework to do, and you're exhausted. Do you have any good advice on how to balance all that?
Well, I utilize study halls. Like you can't like sit there and do nothing during a study hall in class or in school, because that's when I got most of my work done. There's really not that much time outside of school during basketball season, because like you'll leave for an away game at like 4 and not get back till 9 or 10. So I almost didn't have to do any work outside of school because I just used my time in school to do this sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that's really smart. I think that's really good advice. I agree with that. I mean, I'm personally myself, I'm not a basketball player, but I'm a baseball player. So I'm used to like having to manage that time. And sometimes I manage it well, and sometimes I wish I could manage it a little bit better.
Your games are like 4 hours long, so you're not.
Yeah.
Games will start at 3, not gonna get home to like 8.
Yeah. So especially when we're on the road and everything. So let's see. I think that covers most of it. Is there anything you would like to add?
I guess I'll just talk about Biddy Ball. That's something unique that we did as our program. We would like we're coaches for like the preschool, kindergarten, first grade, second grade age kids, and that was, besides the playing and having fun playing basketball, that was probably like the best thing that came for me out of high school sports. Is like I figured out how much I love to work with and teach kids, especially how to play basketball. That's actually what I wrote my college application essay on, and obviously it worked because I'm in college, but I just really enjoy doing that sort of thing. And it's fun to see the little kids, even though half of them are kicking the ball like it's a soccer ball, half of them are on the ground crying the whole time. It's still fun to see them learning and learning to love the game of basketball.
So it sounds like you might be, correct me if I'm wrong here, but are you interested in coaching in the future, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, I'd want to do younger kids. Like, I want to teach them basketball. I don't know if I'd be so interested in coaching high school or even middle school, but like the younger kids, that would be, yeah, I would enjoy that.
Yeah, I think that's cool because like you don't have like all the stress and the pressure because they're like a younger age group, so there's not quite as much as expected of them. So like there's less on you as a coach. And I know that the over, past couple of years, there's been a lot of videos of high school sports parents just being very upset towards coaches and officials. So
Yeah.
I
I don't want to have to deal with all that. I just want to teach them how to have fun.
yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point. Something that I know about you personally that I thought would be interesting to add is that you love playing the game, but you're not as much interested in watching it on TV. Can you explain a little bit about that and why that is?
Yeah, I honestly don't even know why. I mean, I love participating in sports. Like playing them is like I get so much joy out of just doing physical activity, especially with sports. But when it comes to like looking up stats or watching them on TV or following highlights, I have no interest in that whatsoever. I don't know where that comes from or like why that is. It's just definitely not many athletes like me have that sort of mentality. I guess I like they just don't enjoy watching sports at all. But yeah,
Yeah, I'd say I'm personally, I'm kind of not, I'm kind of both in the sense that I enjoy playing and I also enjoy watching it a lot. I'm a big
yeah,
fan. I mean, obviously, people can see my flags behind me.
yeah. And you're doing this right now too.
Yeah, I mean, sports is one of my top interests. So I figured it'd be really great to start something up like this where we could interview a lot of great people, especially like yourself. So thank you for being our first guest.
Yeah, no problem.
All
Thank you
right.
for having me.
Yeah, thanks.